Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Stache Force. Hope your Stashers are having a good week. It's the midweek. It's hump day, Wednesday. But hope all your Stashers are having a good week if I watch this episode. If you didn't watch yesterday's episode, go back and watch it and see what you think about it. If you have watched yesterday's episode, welcome to today's episode. Today's episode, we got a lot of sports to talk about. We got the World Cup coming up tonight, and we got the World Cup to talk about last night. We have the NBA draft. Who got drafted to the Boston Celtics? You'll find out on this episode. Who else got drafted? You'll find out too. I know there was a lot of trades in the draft last night, but we'll try to do my best on seeing what teams are on. You also got baseball to talk about and how the Pirates blew lead last night against the Mariners and looked good, but ended up losing that game. That was a shame, but I hope they can bounce back tonight against the Seattle Mariners. And we got other sports to talk about too. So let's get into it. It's another episode of Stache Force by your man, Stache. Hope you have a good day, Stashers. Right now, Switzerland, unless it was changed, they're up 2-0 on Canada. Canada's playing a home game in Vancouver, but they're down 2-0 in Switzerland. We're going to go talk about the World Cup first. That's about today's game. We'll get back into that here in a minute. But the last night's games, here is a recap of last night's soccer game for the World Cup. Yesterday, Portugal won 5-0 against Uzbekistan. I think we might have talked about that yesterday in the episode, but they won 5-0. Rondo as a double as Portugal routes. England tied 0-0 with Guam. That was interesting. I watched into that game. I couldn't believe but England tied with Guam. I mean, I didn't know Guam was that good, but congratulations going to England. That probably was a shock because a lot of England fans, they thought they were going to win pretty easy. But England might be in trouble moving on to the next round. I don't know who's on to the next round yet. I know the United States is on to the next round of the World Cup. But what else? But that's going to be interesting to see what happens. I don't know. Still some games left. Panama lost 1-0 to Croatia. And Colombia won 1-0 against Congo DR. Congratulations to those teams. Colombia has moved on to the round of 32. Congratulations to Colombia. I'm moving on to the round of 32. Panama's out of the World Cup after a loss to Croatia. Sorry, Panama. Good for trying. Maybe next time it can do better. England held by Guam as Kane strikes or whatever. Right now, going on, we have Qatar playing Bonashir. I'm not going to try to say that one, but Bonashir is winning 2-1. I think Bonashir is going to win this game, but we'll see. We'll probably come back into this before the end of this episode and see what the score is. Canada has finally scored a goal. Hooray! It's 2-1 Switzerland still, and Canada's in BC Palace in Vancouver, Canada in the 83rd minute. Can Canada come back and win? We'll find out maybe in this episode or tomorrow's episode, but I don't know. I think Switzerland's going to win by watching most of this game so far. Tonight, Morocco plays Haiti in Atlanta, Georgia. Haiti's down 0-2 and looking to make some noise. Morocco's 1-0. That means they tied one and lost none. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Haiti looks pretty good. Maybe Haiti wins tonight. That's you heard it first. Haiti wins, but I'll probably be wrong about that. Mexico at 9 p.m. plays Czechia tonight. And Czechia's 0-1. Mexico's 2-0-1. I think Mexico wins tonight. I think Mexico wins 3-0 tonight, and I think they move on to the round of 30. They cruise on into the round of 32 as they already punched their ticket to the round of 32. And I think what was the Brazil game? Oh, I think Brazil and Scotland play today in Miami Gardens, Florida, in the Miami Football Stadium. It's going to be an interesting game. The Scotland's are tearing up Miami. They went to a baseball game the other night and were having a good old time. It's going to be interesting to see if Scotland can do it again, but I think Brazil found their way in the last game against Haiti, and I think Brazil wins this game. A good game, maybe 3-1 or 2-1, but I think Brazil wins. But that's at 6 p.m. on Fox Sports. Right now on Fox Sports 1, it's still, right now, Bosnia scored one more goal, so now it's 3-1 in the 83rd minute, and 85th minute, still with 2-1 Canada, but I'll come back to that. I think South Africa beat I think South Africa beat South Korea tonight in a 1-0 or 2-1 game in the Leave him into World Cup. Christian Pulisic is ready, hoping to play for the United States versus Turkey. I mean, I don't know. We'll talk more about that tomorrow's episode, because tomorrow is when the United States plays at 10 p.m. on Thursday night. So we'll get more into that story tomorrow. But right now, early thoughts on that story, just a little tidbit into what I might talk about tomorrow in tomorrow's episode. I think the U.S. might run a rest one more night, since we're playing around at 32 and not take any chances. I mean, I know you want to look good against Turkey and still do good, but you're ready to run the group stage, and they've already locked yourselves in the round of 32, and looking really good right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, if they go with him or if they just rest him one more night. But we'll see. That's one of the storylines. But like I said, I'll get more into that later and more into my thoughts about it. But right now, I think he might be able to. Right now, England's Jade Bowman is not confidential with Ghana's Jordan's AU sources. Oh, ooh. Put down. No, it's a red card. We'll talk about other sports here in a minute. Now we're going to go to the NFL and see what's in the NFL news. And we'll go back to the World Cup and see what the end of this, because sometimes I do long. Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval, have signed Brenton Strange, tied in, to a new 3-year contract up to $48 million. Jacksonville, Florida, Duval, Jaguars and tight end Brenton Strange have agreed to a 3-year extension worth up to $48 million for $25 million guaranteed. That's pretty good. I mean, I think he might be better than Kyle Pitts. Brenton Strange was pretty good last year. Was decent on fantasy football teams, Was decent on fantasy football teams, unlike Kyle Pitts. So I think that's a good deal. I mean, it's not as much as some people are making like Kyle Pitt. I think Kyle Pitt was making more, but we'll see. Extension worth up to $48 and $25 million guaranteed. Strange 25 entering his final year of his rookie contract, and general manager James Gladstone said shortly after the 2025 season ended that the team had begun primary discussions with him and receiver Parker Washington on a contract extension. Strange is a second-round pick, 61st overall in 2023. Emerged Jaguars top tight end last season, setting a career best in catches for 6 receiving yards and 540 yards and 3 touchdowns in just 12 games. He missed. He was out with a hip injury, but he was pretty good in the games he was in. So I remember he did get an injury. But congratulations to Jacksonville, Brandon Strange. I think that's a good contract for the Jaguars, and I think he's going to be a good tight end for them. And I think they got a good quarterback now, Trevor Lawrence, and a good coach now. No 2026 supplementary draft. Brandon Strange NFL have paused. Quarterback Brandon Strange will not play in the NFL 2026 league, so he is elected not to hold a supplementary draft. If the NFL decision came down on the right to decide whether to hold a supplementary draft, the per collective bargaining agreement, as league offices said, they believe it would ultimately come with this. Rational teams begin their training camps. So I guess he can enter the draft next for Sorby, but he won't be coming in the league this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And the Steelers are going to be interested in something, because who knows, because Aaron Rodgers said this is his last year. So we're going to be interested, or do we trust Will Howard and do we trust Drew Howard to be the quarterback to the future? It's going to be interesting to see. I really think, like I said plenty of times, I think Mason Rudolph should be the odd man out, and they should keep Will Howard as a backup and then have Drew Howard as the first string. And if Drew Howard doesn't need that much time, and just hope nothing happens, but if something happens, they go Will Howard as our backup quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. But we'll see what Coach Mike McCarthy and staff do during the training camp and stuff. But I guess there's no supplementary draft, so we don't have to worry about the Steelers trying to draft Dylan Thorsby now. Falcons tight end Kyle Pitts agrees to $54 million. So yeah, it's more than the Jaguars. The Jaguars only made $48 million. So I guess it's low life. But Kyle Pitts is okay. But like I said in yesterday's video, Kyle Pitts had been really concerned sometimes with fantasy football and has been really bad and unreliable. Maybe if they have both Michael Penix play the whole year, maybe Tua Tagovailoa in a better system, might be able to do better. It might be get Kyle Pitts more open, and maybe finally coach might finally use his brain and get the tight end open. But Kyle Pitts is okay in fantasy fantasy football. But I think the Brandon Strange deal is a lot better right now after looking at this and comparing the two deals. He's making $54 million a year. Kyle Pitts. It's $36 million guaranteed. I mean, that's a lot different than the Jaguars guy, but I think the Jaguars guy is a lot better right now as a better tight end, and it's a better system for a lot better of a quarterback. And Trevor Lawrence than either Michael Penix Jr. or Tua Tagovailoa. But Tua was okay in Miami, and so let's see what he does in Atlanta. If he plays in Atlanta, that's who the Steelers open up this is the regular season. But the Falcons, but congratulations to him anyway, getting the new deal by Atlanta Falcons. Some people thought he might be traded, but he won't be traded now because he'll be on the Atlanta Falcons. Last night was the NBA draft. A lot of teams drafted. And we're going to go over it. I hope it says who got drafted and if it got traded, because I don't know all the trades because I wasn't watching. I only watched the Celtics pick. AJ Dabastina got picked number 1 overall. He's 6'9", 210 from BYU. I mean, he was a pretty good player at BYU, but now it's going to be on the Washington Wizards. It's going to be interesting to see how good his career can be because he's a pretty good player for BYU, and I remember him in the March Madness tournament. I remember him playing against CCF a couple of times, so he was a good player. At number 2, the Utah Jazz select Darren Peterson from Kentucky. I mean, he was pretty good too. Remember him. Cam Boozer from Duke went to Memphis. I mean, that's pretty good pick. I thought Cam Boozer is going to be one of the good players in the NBA in the draft because Cam Boozer was really good for Duke last year when I used to watch the Duke basketball games, so I college basketball, and he looked really good. So it's going to be interesting to see how Cam Boozer can do for the Memphis Grizzlies. The Chicago Bulls select Caleb Wilson. I mean, I guess it's okay. I didn't really follow North Carolina basketball last year. Keaton Wagner from Illinois via trade to Indiana. Good job for him. Who has him? It's good for him. The Boston Celtics selected Chris Sinnock Jr. from the University of Houston. I mean, he's a good player. This is what it says. Sinnock has an excellent length, move abilities. He's 6'11", 240. Sinnock has excellent length, mostly fluid for his size, and has made strides as a rebounder. He also has flash natural shooting tricks, giving him the trick base of the NBA teams, developing all at his age. But he's young, so it's going to be interesting to see. But Brad Stevens and company are pretty good, like the Oklahoma City Thunder, at making draft picks. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. We'll go back to what we're talking about. At number 6, Michael Brown Jr. got drafted from Louisville. I guess he's a decent player. Darius Acuff went to the Kings. I mean, Darius Acuff definitely made a name for himself in March Madness, and he was a name to reckon with in March Madness. He's probably a really high-betted player in March Madness. And it's really good in March Madness. But congratulations to him. I go on to the Kings, even though nobody goes to the Kings games anymore. Even though nobody goes to the Kings games. The Hawks select Kingston Flemings. The Dallas Mavericks select Mortez Johnson Jr. That makes sense. As a Mavericks, this guy, Michigan coach, he takes a Michigan player, reunited with his coach from Michigan, May, that won a national championship last year. Congratulations to him. Brandon Berry from Arizona got drafted to the Milwaukee Bucks. Congratulations to him. Gabriel Lindenberg from Michigan got drafted to the Warriors. That's nice. Aiden Mitchell got drafted to the... Aiden Mariah got drafted to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Congratulations to him. He's pretty good in the championship run. Nate Ament got traded to Milwaukee. Haynes Drydenberg from Washington got drafted by the Hornets. I don't know much about him. Dylan Twain got drafted by the Chicago Bulls, looks like. Brent Stritch is traded to Oklahoma City from Iowa. Congratulations to him. Ibuka is traded to Detroit via Memphis. But Ibuka Orkie is going to be on the Detroit Pistons. Congratulations to him. Chris Anderson Jr. got traded from Orlando to Phoenix. Alan Graves got drafted by the Toronto Raptors at number 19. Jada Quincy got traded from Atlanta. He went to Kentucky. and he is going to the San Antonio Spurs, who lost in the championship game. Carmen Lopez, Kareem Lopez, traded to Memphis from Mexico. LeBron Pippen Jr., traded from Houston via Oklahoma, is going to 76ers. Zach Ejiofor is going to the Atlanta Hawks. Cameron Carr got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers but got drafted by the New York Knicks. Diego Garcia got traded to Dallas via New York, but got traded by the Lakers. Drafted by the Lakers. Trent Reed Jr. got traded to San Antonio. Chris Celtics Jr. got traded by the Boston Celtics. I think that's a good draft by the Boston Celtics. Celtics Jr. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, he's a big man, but like I said earlier in the episode, I think our coaching system and our G League is pretty good at developing players. So if they can develop them really well, I think this could be a steal of a draft. I think I'll give the Boston Celtics a B+ on this pick, and we'll see what they do tonight in round 2. Jordan Jefferson got traded to Brooklyn, but he got traded from LSU, got drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies. And Alex Kumba got traded to Sacramento, drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers, And KP got traded to the Phoenix Suns, but got drafted by the Dallas Mavericks. Congratulations to all of the NBA players. It's going to be interesting to see how good their careers can be, but congratulations to all of them. But I think the Celtics did a good pick last night. Last night, the Pirates lost a close game, 3-2. Oh no, why did the Pirates lose? They had a decent game, but then they blew it off to 2-run home run by one of the Seattle Mariners players. But let's see if they can bounce back tonight. But it might be tough because tonight we got Bubba Chandler going on the mound. Bubba Chandler hasn't been good his last few games. But let's hope Bubba Chandler can do better because that's something the Pirates need. The Pirates play the Mariners tonight at 6:40 p.m. in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pirates are minus 115. Oh no, I guess we might win tonight. I can't read. We got Braxton Ashcraft playing tonight. I mean, that's going to be a good pitch. Braxton Ashcraft is one of our best pitchers. I thought it was... For some reason, I thought it was... Bubba, but it's not. It's a really good matchup tonight, and Braxton Ashcraft is probably one of our second best pitchers behind Paul Skeens. So I think the Pirates are going to do good tonight since we have Braxton Ashcraft playing. I'm really delighted to see that Braxton Ashcraft is playing because I think it's going to help the Pirates. But the Pirates need to get their bats going. I know we don't have O'Neal Cruz right now, and we don't have Connor Griffin, We don't have Connor Griffin, or we don't have O'Neal Cruz right now. But we need to start getting our bats going. We need to start getting Brandon Lau, Ronald Harn, Ryan Reynolds to start hitting more balls. I mean, they need to start making more offense too. But that's why we're paying them. And paying them the big bucks. But let's hope the Pirates can win tonight, and let's hope we can get more than 2 runs. But I think the Pirates win tonight. I think Braxton Ashcraft has yet another stellar performance tonight, and I think the Pirates win. And I think they can raise the Jolly Roger tonight, but we'll see. Let's hope they can take 2 because they lost last night, like I said, and that's not good. If they can at least take this one, then tomorrow will be the rubber match against the Seattle Mariners. I think the Cleveland Indians are going to beat the Chicago White Sox. I think the Boston Red Sox are going to hold off the Colorado Rockies. I think the Tampa Bay Rays will beat the Kansas City Royals. I think the New York Yankees will beat the Detroit Tigers. I think the Pirates will beat the Mariners. I think the Blue Jays will beat the Astros. I think the Cubs will beat the Mets. I think the Dodgers will beat the Twins. Well, geez, the Cubs beat the Marlins today 10 to what? Oh, the Cubs beat the Mets today 10-3 already. It's a doubleheader. It's going to be interesting to see if the Mets can win a doubleheader. But like I said, I don't think they win a doubleheader. I think the Mets win, Cubs win too. The Cubs are just really strong right now, even though I don't like saying that because I'm a Pirates fan. But I think the Cubs win. But I think the Baltimore Orioles will hold off today and win their game. But we'll see. I think the Washington Nationals I think the Phillies beat the Washington Nationals tonight. I think the Brewers beat the Reds. I think the Diamondbacks beat the Cardinals. I think the Braves beat the Padres. I think the Athletics beat the Giants. And the Marlins won 4-2 today. So congratulations to Miami Marlins. Yay, Miami. I mean, I don't really care, but congratulations to Miami. I mean, they suck still anyway. But congratulations to Miami on winning. I hope the Pirates win tonight because the Pirates need to get back on a winning streak. We don't need to keep losing and be under 500. We need to be above 500 because this division is really tough this year and need to start winning. Hopefully Braxton Ashcraft can have yet another stellar performance for the Pittsburgh Pirates, but their bats, like I said, need to get going. They have not been hitting good of late. I mean, I know there's been a lot of better offense and their pitchers have been doing good, but for the late, the offense hasn't been doing good. We need our offense to start hitting more and start hitting better. I know it's still early part of the season, but we need the Pirates to look better. So let's hope they do, and let's hope they get better. And let's hope they get better. Tonight's the second night of the NBA draft, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the NBA and see if the Boston Celtics select. The NHL draft is coming up pretty soon. I think it's Thursday. Sources say Cavs get Tuck from Alex Tuck from the Buffalo Sabres after extension. The Washington Capitals are finally on sign a trade for Alex Tuck from Buffalo. Sabres sold. Tuck's is signing an 8-year extension with the Capitals, averaging $10.5 million a year. Wow. Twitter said, the Sabres are getting a draft pick in return. That's nice. What pick are you getting? Tuck at 30 was on one of the top unrestricted free agents available in the summer of 2000, this summer. But now it's going to be on the Washington Capitals. Congratulations. It's going to be interesting to see what pick the Buffalo Sabres get. But if it's a good pick, I think that's a good trade for the Buffalo Sabres. They can get younger. The Buffalo Sabres have really turned around their season last year out of December when they looked pretty bad. And they also made it to the playoffs and had a decent playoff run. But we'll see what Tuck does in the Capitals. I mean, Tuck is getting pretty older, so maybe they're trying to get rid of him and then don't want to pay him that much money because he is 30 years old. And I don't know how much longer he has in the hockey role because hockey's a brutal sport. But congratulations, now it's tough on getting traded to the Washington Capitals, even though they suck. The Washington Capitals. Great. Blackhawks acquired Braum and traded with Sabres. Geez, the Buffalo Sabres are trading away more players. Blackhawks acquired Brian Braum and traded with Sabres. It appears that Chicago Blackhawks might have found a new top pairing option after acquiring defensive end Brian Braum in a trade to the Buffalo Sabres on Tuesday. In addition, Braum to the Blackhawks received from Jordan Greenway, who had 6 points in 40 games and returned to the Sabres, landed the number 45 pick in Friday's NHL draft, along with defensive end Louis Cleaver. Congratulations, Buffalo. They got more picks. Like I said, the draft was this Friday, so it's going to be interesting to see what Buffalo uses of these picks. But they're getting younger. I mean, I don't know how old this guy was, but Alex Tuck was pretty older, so maybe they get more picks in this year's draft. But we'll see what happens. I mean, Buffalo's doing pretty good. Now they got a new management system, so it's going to be interesting to see how good his management system can do. But like I said, they really turned around their season last year, and they really made it a lot better. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Sooners on winning this year's College National Championship. And the Texas Longhorn ladies won this year's softball. So congratulations to both those universities for winning their respective championships. Now that those seasons are over, we'll see what happens next year in college baseball and college softball. But congratulations to the Texas ladies who won softball and to the Oklahoma City Sooners who won baseball. It's over. Switzerland beat Canada. Like I said, we'll go back into it before the end of the episode. We'll probably talk about it. And Bonashore, whatever, it won 3-0 in Seattle, Washington. Switzerland won 2-1 in Vancouver, Canada. Canada is on the blinks right now. Canada is 1-1-1. What's going to happen? Canada needs to win the last game and have some hope to make it on the next round. Canada's not looking so good. Maybe it's just not hockey. LOL, that's just a joke. But Canada lost. Qatar lost 3-1. Qatar is 0-1-2 now, and BOSNIARZEGOBINA is 1-1-1. Like I said, I think Brazil wins tonight. I think Haiti beats Morocco. I think Mexico beats the Czechs. And I think South Africa beats South Korea. But we'll see. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Talk more about other sports happening around in the world. But thank you for watching another episode of Stache Sports. I hope you all have a good week and have a good day. Let me know whatever sports we talk about. Tomorrow we'll talk about the United States, and I'll talk about what I think about the United States and if I think they should play the top starters. Also, we'll talk more about sports and recap night 2 of the NBA draft. And we'll do other sports too, but thank you for watching other episodes of Stache Sports. This is Stache Sports signing off.